Srucho Krishne gatihi ete
सुषु कृष्ण गते गते
Jagata Shashvate Mate
जगता स्वास्थ्य मते
Ekaya Yatina Vrittim
एक नाम वृत्तिमन
Anyaya Vartate Punaha.
अनन्यावर्तने पुनः.
Translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation: according to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns. Purport: the same description of departure and return is quoted by Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushana from the Chandogya Upanishad 5.10 to 3-5. Those who are fruitive laborers and philosophical speculators from time immemorial are consistently going and coming. Actually, they do not attain ultimate salvation, for they do not surrender to Krishna.
Okay, so because we have been already discussing this point about when the yogi can go back and when yogi can return, and Bhakti Yogi, he doesn't have to worry about when he's leaving his body because he is completely dependent on Krishna and he surrenders to Krishna. So that way his deliverance is assured by the mercy of Krishna. Krishna himself takes charge of that devotee who has surrendered to himself. So he doesn't have to worry about all this, situations, all these factors, because he is not just merely depending upon his own mechanical endeavor. Rather, he takes shelter of Krishna in all walks of his life. He only tries to serve Krishna and surrender to Krishna. So his deliverance is his completely has left to Krishna. It's up to Krishna. Wherever he wants to take me, it's up to him. And such a devotee is completely assured of Krishna's mercy, and Krishna takes care of that devotee. So he doesn't have to worry. So that thing we have been discussing already. Today I was thinking to just a little bit focus on the point which he is telling here. Fruity laborers and philosophical speculators. From time immemorial, they are constantly going and coming. So there are two kinds of obstacles for a conditioned soul. So one obstacle is that first thing, the conditioned soul usually become fruity laborers. Fruity laborers means they simply work very hard to get some kind of material gain. So they are called fruity workers. Of Anne. So as he works whole day and night, he works very hard, but at the end he only gets some some kind of material gain, and for that purpose he worked very very hard. So he gives example like an ass. Sometimes the carrot is put like this. This fellow goes up, so much he works hard, he carries heavy burden, and then the washerman at the end, the same carrot which he was dangling and he was trying to go forward to take it, and at the end, then washerman gives him that one carrot. So that foolish ass doesn't understand there's so much of grass here and there, but he could have just easily maintained himself. But he did not use his intelligence, and rather he just went on working so hard, and all his energy is exhausted in just working hard to eventually get just that small carrot. This is how the materialists also, and they have same kind of mentality. They work very, very hard. And at the end, what they get? Some kind of material gain. That also, after getting there, they're not so happy. They're frustrated anyway. So that's why Bhagavatam says that the maintenance of this body is not the main issue. It's very easily can be done. That's not a big thing. Maintenance in this world is very easily can be done because Lord has made arrangement for everybody in this world. एको बहुनाम यो ददाति कामान नित्यो नित्यानाम चेतनस् चेतनानाम एको बहुनाम यो ददाति कामान. So for everyone the Lord has made arrangement. So one doesn't have to work very hard to get some few pieces of chapatis and some rice and some dal and some clothing and some shelter. This arrangement is there for everyone. A bird also has that arrangement. An ant has that arrangement. Even Lord Brahma has that arrangement. Everybody has arrangement. So what Bhagavatam says that one should not just endeavor for this kind of material maintenance, rather one should endeavor for self-realization. So economic development is not the main problem. It's not the main issue. The main issue is consciousness development. So are we working on developing our consciousness, blossoming our consciousness? And that is the main responsibility in human form of life. So fruitive laborers, basically the time gets wasted in just working very hard for getting material gain. That's why they remain completely entangled by the chains of reactions of their fruitive work. and then they keep taking birth in this world. That's why they're coming and going. So if they do a lot of wonderful work, pious activities, then we go to heaven. And then the punya is over. Shine punya marti lokam vishanti. Again, they fall back to this materialistic, this earthly planets. And in an attempt to get material gain, sometimes they will do sinful activities, and then they go to hellish planets. And again, after suffering in the hell, again they will be, coming to the earthly planets. This is how they're going and coming everywhere. This is about fruity laborers. Coming to philosophical speculators, they are the fellows who somehow the other having some kind of understanding. Oh, this kind of endeavor to get material gain and trying to enjoy that is not somehow satisfying. It's frustrating. This whole material endeavor is kind of frustrating. So they have at least got some sense of their understanding that it's futile. All kinds of material gains are actually ultimately futile. They have got some sense of understanding because they've got so much of kicks. But these fellows, they won't take shelter of a bona fide guru or Lord or scriptures. Rather, they will speculate. They will speculate to find out their ways and means to get some kind of peace and happiness, like that. So physically, they want to escape this material world without taking shelter of the Lord. They don't take shelter of the Lord. They want to speculate about what could be the ultimate reality. What could they become happy? How could they become happy? So that's how they start speculating. And even they get scriptures, they will not be interested to submit to the scriptures, scriptural injunctions and scriptural conclusions. Rather, they will even speculate the scriptures also. They will take the words of the scripture and they want to speculate in their own way, like that. So their problem is that their mind is not taking shelter, of the Supreme Lord, right? So even though they have some sense of frustration in this materialistic existence, but because of having lack of surrender to the Lord, they're not surrendering to the Lord. They're simply trying to speculate. Their mind speculates so much to find out what is the reality. They only depend on speculation to find out absolute truth. That's why they can never reach, actually, because you cannot come to the conclusion of what is absolute truth just by your speculation. It's not possible only. How can you get that? Because Lord is beyond your mind. He's called Adhokshaja. He's beyond the reach of your mind and senses. So how can you, understand Lord just by your mental speculation? It's just not possible. That's what that verse Brahmaji says. Jnane prayasudapasana eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam sthane sita shutigatam tanuvang manobhir ya prayasho ajitajito pita strilokyam. So he says this, that those people who are jnane prayasam, so now they are doing so much of endeavor for jnana. Jnana means they're trying to speculate. Jnane prayasa udapasana eva, but they should actually become submissive. Jivanti sanmukhridam bhavadi vartam. So those who become submissive to the pure devotees, to the Supreme Lord, to the scriptures, namante eva jnana. Jivanti sanmukhritam bhavadi vartam. And then they live their life in glorifying the Lord, in actually understanding what is transcendental knowledge from bona fide guru. So when they do that, jivanti sanmukham bhavadi vartam, jivanti sanmukhritam bhavadi vartam, sthane sita sutigatam tanuvang, and they just remain in their situation. They're householder, they're renounced out of their vanprastha, they have some kind of job, whatever it is. There may be man, woman, children, old man, whatever your situation might be. You simply do what? It says, Sthane sita shutigatam. Shutigatam means shruti. You should hear. Wherever you are, just sit and hear about the glories of the Supreme Lord. So instead of speculating from your mind, you rather receive the transcendental sound and hear. That is called submission. So instead of speculation, you hear. You hear. It's like you speculate about how to solve this problem. You speculate, but if hear from the teacher, you can just get to understand. So you don't have to speculate. It's hear and try to understand. It's like that. You don't have to do any research work. See, now modern education system, it's all about speculation, and it is encouraged also. They speculate, like even science, and all that also. Speculation is encouraged like anything. Whenever they have to publish paper, your paper should always have some kind of difference, from the previous paper. Then only that's considered very good. So more you speculate, you present different kinds of concepts based on your experiments and all that. And that's true or not, that's not the main concern. You have done some work, and it is making some sense to people. So they will consider it to be great work like that. Maybe after 5 years, 10 years, or maybe after 1 year also, it may be discarded. But for that, you will get, sometimes people have got Nobel Prize for theories which were never true. Because there is speculation, no? So by speculation, one can never reach to the Supreme Lord. No? That's not possible. No? It is said that even if some Muni speculates, no, with the speed of the mind, no, and still after many millions of years also keep speculating, he will never able to achieve the Supreme Lord, no? Because Supreme Lord cannot be attained by speculation. He can be only attained by pure devotional service, no? Only by hearing from pure devotees in bona fide disciple section. So sthane sita shruti katam penuvang ya prayasho ajita jitopi tarsilokyam. And by doing that, the Lord Ajita, one who can never be conquered, he gets conquered by such a devotee who simply hears about the Supreme Lord. No? So that's why devotees are very humble. They don't think themselves very big. They think I don't know much. No? I just can just simply hear from my spiritual master. I can hear from scriptures, and I can try to serve the Lord, no, in simple way. That is devotional. That is devotional path. No? So actually, those who are intelligent, actually, they have that humility to understand that they don't know. So so this is also an aspect of knowledge, that you understand your position, that you don't know, and you cannot attain Lord merely by speculation. That's humility. And when you're humble that way, then you submit to a bona fide guru. So that is the real intelligence. So being intelligent means being humble. And when you're humble, then you will submit to bona fide guru. No? If you're foolish, then you will not submit to bona fide guru. You may submit to bogus guru. So intelligence means you are truly humble and you submit to a bona fide guru, a bona fide scriptures, no? Bona fide disciple succession. And that's how you can receive the transcendental knowledge. That's why we say that Jai Bhaje Krishna Sai Bada Chatur. So only intelligent people come, no, to attain Krishna, actually, to come to Krishna. And that's how they say that that's how they can actually attain the ultimate perfection. Otherwise, these people who are speculating, they may think that I'm getting liberated, and I'm so austere, I'm a great fellow. He may be thinking like that, but actually they are not going anywhere. No, they may be going towards Brahma Jyoti, and they may attain also Brahma Jyoti in case, no, if they have some respect for the Supreme Lord. But again, they will come back. That's why he says, no, Yanya Virandaksha Vimukta Manina Tvayasta Bhava Avishuddha Chetasa Aruya Krichena Parampadam Tataha Patati Anadrita Yushmadangreha. So he says that how a person may even attain, the impersonal liberation also, but because they have not taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, they have not submitted themselves to bona fide Guru and to the Lord. So again they fall back. Even they may attain impersonal liberation. Personal liberation is not desired by devotee. Personal liberation is like Shanti, 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 in between, not going to spiritual abode and not being in material world also. You're trying to escape from material world, but not taking shelter of the Lord. So you're like hanging in between. And you may stay there for some time, again you have to fall back because you are not having any proper shelter. It's like a spacecraft. It goes in the sky, doesn't get any orbit. Then eventually has to come back again, like that. So that's what happens to the Gyanis, But somebody who comes to Krishna, so Bahunam Janmatam Gyanavan Manpatate, also they were survived. Somebody comes to Krishna by any means, whether he's a fruitive laborer or philosophical speculator. If he somehow the other gets the shelter of bona fide Guru and he comes to Supreme Lord, then they can attain the ultimate salvation, because then they are surrendering to Krishna. But here is written, actually they do not attain the ultimate salvation, for they do not surrender to Krishna. Because they are not surrendering to Krishna, so they don't attain. But they surrender to Krishna, then they attain the ultimate liberation. That's the point. Okay, I'll pause here. If you have any reflection, we can take, otherwise we can stop here. Quick reflection, anybody has?
This is similar to in Bhagavata Mahapuran. They say that you reach God through Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and Pada Sevanam, right?
Yeah, correct. Ninefold devotional service. Yes, Prabhu. Correct. Perfect.
So I think this is the same thing. If you try to understand, if you go to Purushottama, right, it says that if you try to understand God, God is infinity, right? You can't understand God, and He's God because you cannot understand Him, right? That's why He's God. So I think this shloka from Gita actually takes these two concepts. It says the only way that you achieve God is not by analyzing Him, but by just following Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and Padasevanam.
Correct, and that's how you can understand. Whatever you may understand, you may understand by that process only. Yeah, that's true. So first thing is to understand. I cannot understand, as you said, because we cannot understand by our mind and senses. But if Lord reveals Himself, whatever degree He reveals Himself, to that degree His glories we can understand. Correct, no, Karthik Prabhu?
Yes.
And the process is engaging in his devotional service. Correct. Very good.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Virat Prabhu and Arya Prabhu. Quick, one point. Yes,
Hare
sir.
Krishna. Yesterday, when I came to the temple, I spoke with John Prabhu and we were talking about association. So, bona fide spiritual master is the greatest association you can get, and that's the way to learn. That's my reflection.
Correct. Virat Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I like the topic about philosophical speculation. That there's no way that we can understand the Lord or find out the truth about the Lord or his pastimes just from our own speculation, because he is a Dorksaja. So it doesn't matter how hard we try, we just won't be able to understand him through our own senses. So, as you mentioned, we have to show some intelligence and be humble and submit to the disciplic succession, like Prabhu said. And that's the only way we can attain liberation and understand the Lord just a little bit more.
We have to, that's why you have to read and hear a lot. What
Hmm.
happens if we don't read and hear and we keep thinking, as per me, this way I'll attend, this way I should do, that way I should do. So many things, no. So our mind speculates so many ways, no. Either it speculates in a way to attain material gain, or it speculates in terms of getting free from material entanglement. Both are kind of mental concoctions only, actually. Even material desires are also mental concoction. And to come out of all this material entanglement also is some kind of concoction, speculation, mental speculation. So when I to give it up, simply you have to avoid your mind's dictations. You have to simply hear the dictations of Guru and Krishna. So more you absorb in reading, hearing, and submissively seeking guidance from Guru and Krishna, and depending on them, so to that degree, actually, your life becomes easy. Then mind will, you can avoid the dictations of the mind, speculations of the mind. But those fellows, those who don't read here properly enough, they will become very speculative fellow. Some speculative mind also sometimes becomes a very great obstacle. He wants to speculate. He doesn't want to submit to parampara and repeat from parampara and understand from parampara and practice what is there in the parampara. They want to speculate about it. So that is the problem. We can take examples. Maybe later I can tell you some more examples to make you understand better. Let us pause here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.